Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about the biggest mistakes you can make hosting on Airbnb. As most of you know, I host in London. I do host by the room. Depending on which house you're at, I may or may not be in the house. And there's a few continual mistakes that a lot of hosts make. I want to help you guys by giving you a few hints. I'm going to give you half of them in here, and then I'm going to expand on them in my exclusive insider group, Airbnb with Candice Key. So if you want to get the full video, not just the short version, then send me your request and join that group. All the extra information is going to be in there. The top few things I'm just going to talk about quickly in this video is setting bad expectations or setting expectations too high. There is people that come in sometimes and they expect a hotel, or they're expecting something because they either have the wrong photos up, old photos, or the reviews are not actually relevant to what the house looks like right now. If you set expectations super high and you try to do too many things, you're gonna fail. I don't provide hot breakfast or do anything like that. That would be so much extra work, so much time. I do provide a dry breakfast shelf, which is also a good pro tip, community food shelf that people can either leave food when they're leaving, and I just put like oatmeal and different stuff that you can eat dry. And then I can still say breakfast is included, but I do clarify when they book or if they ask questions, only dry breakfast is provided because I don't have time to put like milk out or other things that are gonna go bad, or fruit, anything like that that might end up getting moldy. It could end up just providing you with a negative complaint if you're not on top of that. So I don't do any of that stuff, and I just set the right expectations right in my listing. So another thing that you can really fail at is not answering your request quickly enough. I'm looking at potentially going somewhere in Scotland, and the person that answers me the first is usually the one that I end up going with. Why? Because I know they're on their app. If they're on their app, they're on their phone, I know I'm gonna get quick check-in. I know they're gonna answer any questions I have. If I ask someone a question like, how do I get from the international airport to your house, and I don't get a good answer from it, and I've never been to the country, I'm not going to want to book this house. Like, I asked a question a few days ago about this place in Scotland, and I was like, how am I going to get there? They told me what train to take. It's the first stop, and then a 5-minute walk, the whole thing. Like, they pretty much broke it down for me. And I'm like, this is the one I'm going to stay at, because not only did they answer all my questions, they gave me all the information. They are obviously going to be available, and which kind of ties into this. Another mistake people make is not having a door code. Not having an automated system to let people in. I think it's nuts at this day and age. They're not that expensive. If you're going to host on Airbnb, it's good for your security. It's easier than changing the locks if someone takes a key. You can just change the door code between guests. You can change it once a week. You can change it as often as you want. It's a good security feature. So it's a mistake to go back to this old school idea of having a key. And even if you don't own an Airbnb and are not doing this at all, I don't understand why you have keys. I think it's nuts. I have door codes on all my properties. I never have to worry about where keys are. I have enough things to worry about in my life, let alone organizing a bunch of keys for like multiple houses, multiple rental rooms, multiple doors. Everything's electronic. It is so much more simple, and there's just less to worry about, right? That kind of ties into another mistake, which is bad communication. So just not answering someone quickly enough, or also giving someone wrong information or bad information, or not giving them enough. I think that's a big mistake people make. And if you don't have time to host on Airbnb and to give people your attention and your answers to your questions, that's fine. But the guests are going to know it. The guests are going to feel it, because I travel with it and I do host as well. So I see it on both ends. Another thing that people are not going to want to book at your house for is having too many fees or too many extreme fees. Personally, I do think it's okay to have a cleaning fee, because if you keep your nightly rate lower and then you have one cleaning fee for like the week or a month or whatever, that's going to cover just the room flip. But sometimes there's like additional fees for amenities or pets or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff. So if you have too many fees, and then originally someone's going to book with their friends for like 3 days and it's $100, and then it's like plus a linen fee, plus a 3-day whatever fee, and all of a sudden it's like tripled in value, or tripled in charge rather, not value, people are going to be pissed off. They're probably not going to book your listing. So don't throw in unnecessary fees. And if you use a cleaning fee, kind of do it like I use it, like by keeping your nightly rent low. But if you want to make sure you always get a minimum amount, even for the short 1-day bookings, then you just add like a $15 cleaning fee in there. That will kind of bring it up so that at least you're getting $50 a night for those 1-night guests that you're going to have to room flip. So lastly, before I go into the other Facebook group and I get into a little bit more detail, if your house is dirty or if there's dirt in certain areas, there are spots that some people will check, and I will get into that in my Facebook group. Some pro tips, secret tips on like where you got to check to clean. A lot of people I find are pretty easygoing, but there is some people that have high expectations. So we want to just keep the expectations for cleaning by having good reviews reasonable. Nobody wants to sleep somewhere that's dirty, hair in the bed or something. If you don't delint the bed sheets beforehand, that's disgusting. So I'm going to give you a few more tips on clean areas that people are going to really be inspecting in my group. So if you're not in the group yet, join the group. It's free to join. It's awesome. And we're going to go into a bit more detail on some of these tips.